What's going on, guys and gals? This is Troy, CheFPV. Really, that's all that matters. I'm going to come to you today, and this is going to be kind of a long time coming slash probably the hardest video that I've ever had to make or have had wanting to make, and have held off on and not made out of a lot of different reasons. Mainly because it's honestly very close to home in the sense of how many friends, and I mean like true friends. Like, I mean, I look at these guys, to me at least, from my perspective, as really, really great friends. I really actually care about them and hope and, help do everything I can to make them positioned to be successful from whatever I can do and just in supporting whatever they do. That's what Zero Ground was always about when I started it. And in reality, it's what I've always been about, right? Anybody that's followed me, and especially from the ground RC side of things, you'll just know that, I mean, in reality, like, I don't speak or say or give my opinions just to like hear myself. I really have experienced quite a bit, and not everything. And I'm not, I don't know everything about everything. But I mean, I have spent countless pennies and dollars and hundreds, and I have really burned through a lot of equipment, and not burned like bad. I mean, like gone through and tested. I mean, I buy stuff a lot of times, especially early on. I was buying stuff just to try it, just to share. Like a lot of times I buy products just to share them with you guys. When I see something about to be released, if I really think it's going to be important, I pre-order it or I put my money on it. So when it comes out, I can be one of the first to share my experience. Not to say that my experience is what everybody's experience is. One thing in this hobby is people have a hard time relating the idea that your experience will never exactly 100% translate to somebody else's, only because of their understanding of what they think they have or into. And not only that, but just everything is just so different that one little variable can really just change an experience. So I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've made claims and accusations before that, if proven wrong, or if I was, wrong in saying or finding out that I was, I typically will go back and correct myself. So I do think that I'm a pretty fair guy. And at the end of the day, it really just comes down to logic. Yes, my experiences matter, but there are also, other things to look at, and the bigger picture and what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with is kind of where lines get grayed. And my own close friends and teammates, if you would, we feel very differently on this subject that we're about to talk about, as do many people. And many people get just passionate and angry and defensive and offensive. They get offended, and that's not what I'm here to do or what I've ever been here to do. Unfortunately, a lot of the times when questions are asked, and those questions are very hard questions to answer one way or the other, or they are questions that the other person you're asking them of is not necessarily prepared to answer because it catches them off guard or whatever it be. A lot of times the natural reaction is to get defensive and in some situations offensive and start pushing back. And sadly, I wish that more people were open to just simply understanding that when people ask questions, and people like me especially, whether you think I have my intentions or not, I don't ask questions that I don't want the answer to. Like, I don't pose rhetorical questions to make people feel stupid or look bad. Now, if you won't answer a question, then yeah, I might poke at you with that question over and over again until you answer it, kind of, because I want an answer. Because for me and somebody else to have a conversation and a discussion, I need the questions that I want answered, so then we can progress and form a discussion. So I haven't even mentioned the topic, but we'll talk about it. It's Raceflight. I don't even know where to really start. I only really made this video today because of the video they're putting out, and I haven't even really watched it, which probably isn't fair, but I will go back and watch it. And if anybody wants to call me out and say that I'm wrong on anything, feel free. But I've already known the story, of the history, if you would, enough of it to know why my feelings and my point of view correct for everybody, possibly wrong for some people. That's fine. And again, at the end of the day, though we disagree on this, if we do, to my good friends Gil, Gars, Burst, Recla, Mayhem, Shawnee P, Crux. I mean, all these guys. I mean, you guys are all flying the Raceflight, and I know. And Brent, even Preston and Kalen. Look, I don't have anything personally against you, no matter what you might think, Preston. Yes, I still disagree with a lot of things and a lot of practices and a lot of what we're going to discuss. And I still, quite frankly, never really was satisfied with the way that you technically apologized to me for the personal kind of back and forth, not even back and forth, but the personal kind of insult that occurred. But we won't talk about that. Like, it's not, honestly, like, I've let it go. Like, it's just done. So what is, like, where do I stand on Raceflight and why? I will tell you now that Raceflight 1, it's out, I guess. I'm told it's out. I have not downloaded Raceflight 1 yet. I've actually had it for a while, but I haven't even used it because I just haven't gotten to that step yet. I will. I'm actually going to plop my hard-earned money down, and I'm going to buy me a Revolt kit, maybe even some ESCs, and I'm going to do some Raceflight 1 flying. I am. I'm going to try. I've always said I was too, that I was going to try Raceflight 1. However, I have tried Raceflight. It was early on in the, probably, I don't know. I mean, not early on. This was actually halfway through, but this was after the October delay and all that. But I tried one of the beta builds sometime in November, September maybe. I don't remember when it was. Somewhere late last year. I had issues with it. And again, I understand it was the beta build and all that. But that's not really my concern. My concern, as you guys know, like with 3DR and all the other companies that I maybe have been hard on over the years once kind of things shake out, I'm prosumer. I'm all about making sure that the consumers are being told that they're getting what they're getting and they're getting what they're being told they're going to get. And if they're not, there's no problem with that. Companies make mistakes. Companies need more time. Companies have delays. Companies always have problems. It's a way of doing business. I understand that. However, the way that companies handle it and the way that companies disseminate and put out information to their already paying customers most of the time, and then as well the other customers that are potential, or the other users that are potential future customers, that's where I question and I start wondering, because I'm all about good business. I mean, no matter what business we're in, I used to be a chef and a restaurant manager. I don't want to work for or be a part of or affiliate or even go to a restaurant that is in bad business practices. Because if they're doing bad business practices on one side, they're probably doing other things. And again, that's assumptions, but this is all just in life and business and how we approach things. So the thing that turned me off from Raceflight, aside from whatever GPL or whatever code violations previously, our Raceflight 1 is not in violation of GPL. I apologize if I've ever made it seem that way. The current Raceflight 1 has been cleared of that. I know that for a fact from multiple sources. However, my stance goes to a company, I don't care who it is, back in mid-year last year, 2016, they announced this amazing product that they were going to launch that was revolutionary, with some revolutionary firmware on board and available on launch day to the people that put their money down on a pre-order. That day when they said that, according to the history and the timeline that even Kalen has posted, they knew that they cut and paste code. They knew at that point that the only code they had that was based on Raceflight was from something else. And they knew and should have known, if they want to say they didn't, they should have known that from that date to October, they would have never been able to deliver Raceflight 1, a clean Raceflight 1, no code from anyone else, and the hardware. That is the part where I feel lied to. I feel that as a community member, I was being preyed upon to put my money down on something that now we know was admittedly not kosher. So that's it. Done. I don't care about anything else other than that. That is my sole one actual issue with Raceflight as a company and as a business. That's it. The honesty factor. The fact that they literally took money from users knowing they couldn't deliver, then didn't give complete answers or real answers on any of this until they were called out on it months later and way delayed. And the fact that Raceflight 1 still, that I know of today, does not come preloaded on a board that you can buy from your favorite vendor. That's what we were promised in October. Whether the software is amazing and the board is hotness or whatever, great. I love that. That's great. But you can't tell me that I should just say, hey, forget all the rest. You guys ended up with a great product. I mean, the sad thing is I'm in the minority, and they will win in the end, and they will put out a great product probably, and everybody's going to start flying it. And I can't stop that. But I also don't have to bend or break who I am or what I stand for just to support it. All I ask is that they give you the real answers. They're starting to trickle them out, and that's fine. You guys really just still won't know the whole behind the scenes stuff. This stuff goes way back. This is not the one incident in October or whatever it was that they've done this. I mean, I don't need to go into it any further, but I'll just say that for me, that was the stone that said, you know what? Everything else that I have been told or heard and been privy to from a lot of other sources about, past indiscretions and such, it just all adds up. So, that's me, man. I mean, I don't do this or care for, even making this video for anybody to like me anymore or to hate me anymore. I don't even know why I made it. Honestly, I made it to make sure that how I feel is based solely in business practice and in the way that the community and the consumers were treated. And that stands for not just Raceflight. There are other businesses and companies out there doing things like this, guys. The biggest thing I would say is pre-ordering and promises from vendors or manufacturers or brands. Just wait for them to deliver. There is too much out there that's good and working today for you to burn up components being a beta tester for somebody, whether they help you or not. I don't think they gave you free ESCs when you burnt them out. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but it hurts sometimes to see the problems. And I love that those guys contributed, and there's a Slack channel, and all the contributors, dude, you guys are awesome. What you guys are doing, and even Preston and Caleb, dude, if it works the way it works and everybody's saying, that's great, man. It's so awesome. I just really wish we could have gotten to here without having to do all that other stuff and not just be open and real. And just tell us, man. Had you come to us, right before the period, say, hey, you know what? Or even after taking the money, hey guys, you know what? We made a mistake. We did this, and this, but we're gonna do this, and this. I think most of this would have been, water under the bridge. But, when other people in the industry start talking and start, pushing back because they realize kind of what position they've been put in, I don't know, man. Like, I just make my own decisions. So, Chris, Gars, my dude, 32 bits, Gil, Crux, Shawnee P, anybody associated with me or that has supported me over any period of time or just been friends with me or respects me or looks up to me, I just want you to know I speak for me and only me. I don't speak for anyone else. And I don't feel wrong for having my opinions. I hope you guys understand and respect me enough to know that at the end of the day, we all speak flow. Throw a lipo in it and let's go burn one, homie. That's all that I'm about, and that's all that you're about. Let's go do it, and let's do it together. You fly you, I fly me. I fly what I fly, you fly what you fly. I'll fly Raceflight 1. I will. Probably pretty soon. But I'll spend my own money, I'm sure, on it. And yeah, we'll do that. Sorry for the rant and the ramble. Not really. I hope you enjoyed. I just really wanted to speak my mind. No ill will, guys. No ill will. Fly safe, fly smart. Just fly. Hell, fly Raceflight 1.